Today, I am working with Gypsy on getting used to her new saddle blanket. So this is the first step that we'll take in getting her saddled. Eventually, I probably won't ride her until she's about 4 years old, but she'll be used for packing supplies in hunting trips and trail rides and things like that, so she can get used to the weight of things on her back and shifting around. So at first, for some reason, she seemed a little bit spooky with the lead rope, so I just reminded her what that was. There we go. So now what we're doing is just gonna show her the blanket, and you can see her ears are forward. She's very curious, and she trusts me, so she's not going anywhere. She's not running away. She's just genuinely curious at what this thing is. Now, I do have treats, so I'm going to go ahead and use them as needed for reassurance and telling her that she's doing a good job. So just moving the blanket around, showing it to her, rubbing it on her nose, teaching her that it's not a scary thing. Next, I'm going to rub it on her neck and around her chest so that she can get used to the feel of the thing. And I try not to restrain as much as I can. I want them to be willing and stay with me. But in this case, I did want to hold and keep her from backing up because I wanted her to understand that, no, this is what I'm asking you to do, and I don't want you to run away from this thing. So you can see I just rubbed it on her nose a little bit, and that's enough for a treat for me because she didn't run away or back up anymore. Once we get back to our spot, we get right back into it and start moving the blanket around different areas of her body so she gets used to it all over, including her neck, withers, and back. Here she gets a little stubborn and decides she doesn't really know that she is enjoying this training session, so she gives me a little bit of a standstill. So I increase the movement on my hand, wiggle, 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 and then as soon as she gives me any forward movement, I release, which is a form of reward for her. What you're about to see here is when I put it on her back, she's able to see it better than she has before. So she spins around to try and figure out what this thing is on her back, but that results in her hind end coming towards me. So it required a quick correction in the form of a pull on the lead rope to get her to move that hind end away from me again. One of the most important things you can remember about training really any animal is repetition. The more times you do a thing, the more likely they are to remember it, the less sensitive they will be to it, and the more comfortable they will be with it as well. Just keep practicing and practicing and practicing until it becomes a non-issue. Now, if you watch her body language, she's getting more comfortable with the saddle blanket. She's not reacting as much. Now she's more interested in treats than actually caring about what's on her back. So we're going to leave it on a little bit longer. We're going to have her move around with it and get her more comfortable with the movement of the item rather than the item itself. Now we're going to up the ante a little bit. I want her to stand still when I put the blanket on. So I'm asking her to ho, which she knows means stop, and holding on the lead rope saying stay here. So we're adding an extra element to this. Now that she's comfortable with the blanket, I want her to have manners. She shows that she's a little more sensitive on her right-hand side, which makes sense because typically when you saddle a horse, you will do it from the left side. So we work with her right side equally as much as we can, and if she shows that she's more hesitant, I'm going to work with that side more often because I know that's essentially a weak point for her. One of my favorite things about this little mare, other than the way that she's built or the way that she looks, is her brain. She does seem to really focus very well in our training sessions, even though there's saw cutting going on in the background, Tango's running around playing, Scarlett's playing with the gate to her paddock. There's so many other things going on around her, but she is entirely focused on everything that I'm doing with her, which is all you can really ask for when you're training a horse. Honestly, if they're focused on you, that makes training a lot easier. I should also mention that this entire training session only took about 20 minutes. So she's incredibly quick to accept things, which is wonderful. This is exactly what I'm looking for. Relaxed leg, ears forward, no movement, no spook. Perfect.